Nonprofit organizations that focus on disabilities aim to improve the quality of life of individuals with disabilities. How do they do that? By providing resources, support, and advocacy. These organizations work tirelessly to ensure that people with disabilities have access to the same opportunities and rights as their able bodied counterparts. They also strive to raise awareness and educate the community about disability related issues, creating a more inclusive and accepting society. Great Prospects Incorporated is one of the high quality programs in the Atlanta area that focuses on serving individuals and their families with this gap. I have with me Michelle, the CEO, CMV, and epilepsy advocate. She is a registered certified teacher of the Royal Academy of Dance, England, and she is on the faculty of the Royal Dance Academy and Dance Stop Studio. And of course, she is the CEO of Great Prospects. Thank you, Michelle, for being on the
Thank you
show.
for having me. It's wonderful to be here.
So, it is indeed. Tell us, Michelle, what inspired you to start this organization?
Well, Great Prospects came about out of an absolute need for my own daughter because in the spring when she was turning 22 and school was coming to an end for her, I was looking around at programs that were available. And unfortunately, I just never found anything that I found suitable for what I envisioned her future life to be and what I wanted her to experience to have a life worth living that was full and rich, just like the rest of us. And I came upon a small little startup nonprofit that had been in existence as a summer camp and an after-school program, and it was struggling. And I managed to take it over. And over the years, I've created this therapeutic day program that even today continues to grow and expand with this ever changing world, and the fact that there seems to be a growing need for this kind of program for parents who are out there in the world trying to continue to go to work, and they have a son or daughter that they wish to keep with them like I am with my daughter. But so I provide an environment where they can drop them off and go to work and come back and know that they've had a day filled with friendship and exercise and therapeutics and in the community and just being stimulated and happy and safe. And yet they continue to grow and evolve because yes, it might take longer, but they're getting there. And then, the constant peer support from other friends around and how they look after each other. And one has a strength, so they will share that with the rest of the group. And it's just a wonderful, enriching environment. And anybody that works there with them always leaves so much happier than when they arrived.
Absolutely, I'm sure they are. And the parents must be also relieved to have somebody who they know will care for the children, isn't it? What is the age group that you are serving right now?
In our regular therapeutic day program, they come to us usually at age 21 or 22, depending on what the school requirements are. And they are currently from age 21 to 40.
All right. So you have much older kids, if I can use the term kids there. So obviously, every person needs a special kind of attention, right? And how do you cater to every individual?
I'm sorry, I had a little difficulty.
How do you cater to every individual? Because I'm sure every individual's requirements are different.
You're saying each individual is somewhat different. Oh, yes, just like you and I. Yes, each individual is an individual. But as I say, they all have strengths and weaknesses. And sometimes their strengths can be so amazing. And then their weaknesses are usually things like stranger danger and street safety and things like that. We have unfortunately got an eligibility criteria that they have to meet because we're a small boutique style program, very highly active and that. So it's not open to everybody. It's a very specific group of people that I serve. And so I don't try and serve everybody and it gets diluted. It's this small dynamic group. And,
Okay.
you know, everybody seems to come together and participate to the best of their ability. Some, as I say, excel at
True.
things and some don't, but they
Yeah,
participating to the best of their personal ability.
I agree. But for this, you must be requiring some staff, some volunteers. How do you get those volunteers? And are these volunteers trained as
Well,
well? Sorry.
volunteering changed drastically when COVID arrived because before that, people enjoyed volunteering and doing things. So now I have to rely more on my dynamic staff who have degrees in psychology, recreational therapy, occupational therapy, those kind of things. But I'm starting to see a little bit of a trend change, and people are becoming what they were pre COVID, a little bit more interested in volunteering and coming in and doing things. But it's slow, but I think it's going to start coming back, which is wonderful, especially to have a man come in and volunteer because we do have a lot of men in the program, and I think it's important for them not to always be surrounded by women staff because there are things that men need to learn and know, and I'm sure their fathers are doing a great job. But another perspective or another influence sometimes can be the biggest influence on their lives. So I'm
Yes,
very
yes,
fortunate
yes.
to have one man who comes in and he's a dynamic person.
All right. Okay. And what are the types of disabilities that the organization primarily works with?
I think autism is, I don't have the demographics in front of me and I also have to be careful, but, I think it's autism that's the biggest number. My daughter personally, I had CMV when I was pregnant with her, which is cytomegalovirus syndrome. It's a virus just like COVID. It's just a virus like anything, you know. And I just was unfortunate and I contracted that, which affected her brain.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
have no. All right. All right. And that affects the brain and everything
Yeah.
that
It just causes them to have
everything.
disabilities.
Oh, okay. All right. So, does your organization, so Great Prospects, ensure that the programs and services are accessible to only autism, or you are open to
Oh,
taking
no,
in
no, no,
other
no. We're not,
disabilities?
we take anybody with whatever disability as long as they meet the criteria to be in the program. And the
Uh-huh.
program, as I say, is designed to be highly mobile and functionable. So unfortunately, we don't take anybody in a wheelchair or something like that
Oh,
because, you know, we do fitness, we do
yeah.
yoga, all those, we go hiking, we do things that would not be beneficial to somebody who's non ambulatory.
Yes, true. Got it, got it. Tell me, so Michelle, you have a background in dance. You are a dance instructor. And how does that come in handy when you're working with these
Well,
individuals?
my entire life since I was 5 years old was ballet, 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 and, focused towards, you know, performance. And then I knew one day I'd be a mother because that's what I wanted. And so I knew I would land up teaching eventually, which is what happened. But being in there, I teach at Great Prospects, I teach a movement class. And we,
Okay.
I teach them these just current moves. It's not balletic at all because, these big men of 6'3" are not inclined for anything classical. But music brings out such a joy in them. And so we just do simple, easy moves. Yes, we do a little bit of Bollywood. Yes, we do. Anything that's a
Awesome.
little, that's not too drastic, and easy flowing and easy moving. And we do it for 30 minutes nonstop. It is.
Awesome. And you think they enjoy it?
Absolutely.
Do
And
they enjoy
everybody
it?
participates to their best ability, and some have their favorite songs, and they'll be right up front. It's
How
great.
nice. Oh, lovely, lovely. That's beautiful. Anyway, dance and music are known to be
Yes.
therapeutic in itself. So I'm sure this is making a great difference. Let's take a break to understand what Chizuba is. Everyone at some point ponders on how this beautiful life can be made more meaningful. Maybe you're a leader trying to enhance your employees' experience at your organization. Or you already work for the community and seek volunteers with state of the art skills to strengthen your nonprofit. Whatever your situation, know that you can make a difference. Chizuba began with this very vision, a vision to facilitate every skill and every passion in the world in meeting a social need. Corporate volunteering has several benefits for both businesses and organizations. In parallel, experienced and enthusiastic volunteers join NGO workers, enabling them to serve the community more effectively. Chizuba offers everyone looking to add purpose and meaning to their lives a chance to connect or volunteer virtually with nonprofit organizations from over 100 countries around the world. Visit www.chizuba.net and explore opportunities to find meaning. Chizuba, your platform to do good. And now, back with our guest. Do you have organizations that are partnering with you?
Unfortunately, we don't have any partnering organizations. These are things that we are working on to create partnerships. And another thing that I'm working on is I would like to create an association for the entire state of Georgia, which could be a resource for parents out there who live in different parts. Perhaps they live an hour north of Atlanta in Georgia and things like that. So if they came to that website and all the programs that are out there, we were all listed, so people could see what suits them, what's within their parameters, and then they would be able to connect with those people. That's a dream of mine, to one day have something like that.
Well, I hope you do because that sounds very
Yeah,
exciting.
hopefully.
And do you measure the impact of the work that you do? Do you have any metrics to track some kind of progress?
Yes, we track a lot of things. Um, for me to speak on it, I am not the person who does that. I'm the one who goes out and leads the charge and finds the funding and puts the face of Great Prospect out there. But yes, I have wonderful staff who work on demographics and growth and all of those things. Yeah, very important because this
Yes.
population seems to be growing, or there's more awareness, and so therefore, especially with mothers who are in the workforce versus 30 years ago, where women tended to stay home more. So there's more need for all these things. So we need to know where these services are required.
Right, right, right. Wonderful. That's lovely. It was lovely talking to you, Michelle. I'm sure there's a lot of satisfaction also in what you are doing. Am I
Intense
right?
satisfaction.
Yeah. Yeah, it's beautiful the way you are collecting people and making sure that they have a fruitful and productive life, and making sure that the parents also are comfortable with leaving their kids at your place. Though I say kids, I know these are adults, but so important to have somebody take care of them as
Absolutely.
well. Thank you for sharing. Thank you. Your story is really
Thank you so
inspiring.
much.